We're off on a special outing today to a place that neither of us have ever been to before. We're going to a gallery that's got a cool, we hope, exhibition of woodworking. I'm a massive fan of Treen, and Will does woodworking as a hobby. So I'm definitely going to bring you along for the ride. I don't know what the journey is going to be like. It has the potential to be quite beautiful, and it has the potential to be a really nice day out, and this may in fact form the bulk of this vlog this week. This could be a going to the exhibition special. And actually in the evening we're going to a screening of the latest Downton Abbey movie. We hope. It depends on the timing, but that's our plan. So we're in for a really nice day, and I hope you enjoy coming along too. We're just leaving the exhibition. It was amazing. There was an exhibition that people had entered artworks for. That's the primary reason we came. But this centre is also home to the National Collection of Woodworking and Wood Turning, some of which I filmed. And it was beautiful. Gosh, I love things made out of wood. I'm so jealous of their collection. Maybe one day I'll have one of my own to equal or match it, who knows. Heading on a bit of a stroll down towards the snowy river. I don't have much charge left, so I don't know what I'll be able to record. The snowy river is relatively near to us. You possibly would have noticed it in another video of mine when we took a stroll down to the snowy river lookout point. But you can't see it from my house. I do love a big river. So Let's go and have a quick look. There we go. Beautiful snowy river drifting on by, gently, gently. Well, yesterday was amazing. I ran out of charge on my phone, so I wasn't able to update you or bring you along for as much of it as I would have liked. But I hope you saw that the gallery was well worth going to. Most of what I filmed, or all of what I filmed inside, was part of the permanent collection, which was one component of the display. The other was a competition that members of the public are invited to enter. And that was really good too. Gosh, there's a lot of talent out there. And then, as you saw, I went for a quick stroll along the snowy river and we walked around the town. Really, really pretty town. Then we hot-footed it over to the cinema and we watched the Downton Abbey movie, the latest Downton Abbey movie, and it was so good. I enjoy watching Downton Abbey very much. I watch it every winter. I've got the whole lot on DVD. And I got into the habit of doing that when the power's a bit dodgy, so I've got a DVD player I plug into my laptop and away I go. So it was such a good film and we had a really good day. Come to a place where they've got some livestock. Look at this cool pig. Isn't he beautiful? Hello, piggy. Hello. Hello. See you later. Welcome to a new day. Sadly, it seems like I jumped the gun when I said that I would probably have mowed the house lawns for the last time. I'm going to mow them now. I'm not going to film it, don't worry. But I don't mind lawns going into winter being quite long, but since I imagine there's still a little bit of the growing period left, it's probably going to end up being longer than I would reasonably like it to be. Anyway, since I'm out and about, I might as well quickly head over and give you a secondary update. This is a red bark dogwood. Pleased to say, as you can see, hasn't been munched, and it's definitely heading towards dropping its leaves. I'm pretty sure the stems are going more red too. I was worried, you might remember, that it looked suspiciously green, but I think I needn't to have worried. And here's the Chinese pistachio. Looking very autumnal and also unmunched. Well, I better set about mowing these lawns. Maybe this really will be the last time. I've got a little bit of spare time in this sort of late afternoon light in mid-autumn, and I've got a bit of work to do on my main border. Some of the plants like this has gone a bit mad, so I've been trimming it up to keep it in check. And I've got another one round the other side, so I need to do the same. This magnificent plant with the yellow flowers is gone over, and I could leave it for some architectural interest over winter, but actually it does start to look a bit sad. So I've started the task of pruning it back, that you can possibly see if you look carefully. It's coming back to life at the base. So what I like to do is cut it a little bit higher than I might if in the UK. But then these act as natural wallaby suppressors, so they can't get in so easily. Saves me having to put sticks all around it whilst it's small and vulnerable. So I will be taking the opportunity this late afternoon to give everything a bit of a tidy. Well, it's good to know what you can get done in a bit of free time in the late afternoon. So as you can see, I have tidied up the bed, ready for winter now. I've re-established dung day nuts around some of the plants that benefit from it. That's a dwarf mock orange, that's a dwarf gardenia, that's a tea bush, and I have refrained from doing that to the plants that don't really need it. That's a catmint, for example, that's a red valerian. I've pruned down the nice yellow plant and made a dung day net around it. I pruned back the Californian lilac. We had one in Scotland and I basically once chopped it right down to the ground and it came back better than ever. I didn't try that here yet, but I'm kind of disappointed by how woody it has got in the middle. I expect to see this as sort of fully dense bush, so I've cut it back and cut some of these stems back to where there's bits sprouting up, so I hope that it'll sort of regenerate from the middle so it becomes more of a dense bush. I'll keep an eye on that. I pruned back some of my bigger mock orange, so I took some of the bigger stems down to the ground and trimmed some of the other stems. I had done that in summer. I know it can affect the flowering, but at the moment I guess I'm just really trying to establish the shape. I freed up the Californian tree anemone, which was getting overcrowded by the buddleia, and I would dearly love to prune back this buddleia, but you might be able to see it's beginning to be covered in flowers, which is weird because it's autumn, and also means that I'm loath to prune this now because I'm wondering if that means I'll lose my flowers. Anyway, so I'll see what happens. Probably what I'll do, this isn't how you would do it in Britain. In Britain you'd prune it hard back in late winter, then it would flower on the new growth. In spring summer, this didn't flower this spring summer. It's growing the flowers now. I guess I'll wait and see what happens, and hopefully just whenever it flowers, whenever the flowers are over, that's when I'll prune it, and who knows when that'll be. But so the border is looking a bit unbalanced, it's mostly because this buddleia is absolutely gigantic. But it'll spring back and it'll start looking much more in balance come spring. Not that we have sort of spring, summer, autumn, winter seasons here. They're a bit more rogue than that. We really only get kind of 3 seasons. We don't really get a proper winter, and we get a very early spring, a very brief winter, and a very early spring. Anyway, so I'm pleased with that. Onwards to the next task. Welcome to yet another new day. It's a beautiful morning. See the sun filtering through those acacia trees. It's one of those, let me spin round, clear blue sky, chilly, lovely autumny mornings. And you find me here at what I call the maple garden, or the Japanese garden. What I have here is a couple of Japanese maples, some acers. Got one more I want to get to complete my collection, and I've got some hellebores dotted around, and there's some bulbs in the ground. It's still early stages of this. This was formerly completely overgrown, but because of its proximity to the library building, I cleared quite a lot of that back, thinned out some of the trees, created a space that I hope will be nice to look out upon from the library, and introduce a greater variety of plants into the property. But now that it is bonfire season and easier for me to clear vast quantities of material, I've come down here to trim up some of this tea tree. I don't want to eradicate it, and I've got like a little one here which I keep pruned as a little bush, but it is starting to grow and overhang a bit more than I want it to, so I've just come down to give it a trim. So that's what I'll be doing for part of this morning. I love these dewy mornings. The footsteps in the lawn. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but already the sun's burning it off. Is the camera picking that up? I can see here anyway. I don't know if you can. The dew being burnt off by the sun and creating these misty clouds. That's what happens in the depths of winter too. That's why, even though I might wake up with a frost, I never ever 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 go to bed with one. Or at least I haven't yet. I thought I'd quickly show you what I've done, even though you probably won't be able to see the difference. But anyway, I thinned out some of the tea tree. I clipped some of it back, some on the other side as well. I've lifted that off the ground. It was getting a bit low to the ground. And there are a few eucalyptus trees that have snuck in here, so I've taken those out before they go too mad. I don't really want too much eucalyptus up at the house. And this is what my bonfire looks like now. Still a way to go, but bonfire 2 is in process. My other task for this morning is prepping for this stage 2 of this new relawning. Essentially, not that you might want to know this, but our septic tank is there and we had to have some work done on it, which necessitated taking down this panel of fence and getting a digger in. And previously this area was bald because the topsoil had gone and it was just basically clay, sort of like this area. I don't mind that, that's actually a track that we drive our cars along, so I'm happy for that to be like that in a way. Anyway, this was bald and there were a lot of roots, and basically the digger came along and churned it all up and actually did me a favour. There was lots of clumpy grass too, churned it all up, and which meant that I was able to level it. And they also left a lot of gravel, so I constructed this gravel path which goes into the orchard and takes us down to our wood store, which is behind the snake shed. That's where the snakes hibernate. And in the spring I put down some soil and some fertiliser and some improver and stuff for lawns, and I got some inexpensive grass seed and I sprinkled some on. So this is how it's looking at the moment. It did quite well. The rains this summer certainly helped, but as you can see there are still bald patches. So I can't really put seed down, grass seed down in summer. Not normally anyway, because it would just die. But autumn's a good time. So what I'm going to do now is put some more soil down. I've got a mixture here of soil and manure. I'll sprinkle it over, rake it on, and then put another batch of grass seed on, so that hopefully over winter, autumn, winter, it'll sprout and do really well, so that come spring, summer, I'll have a nice strip of lawn between the orchard and this path. A nice path, which I admit I do have to weed, and quite a lot of this is leaves, so I'll tidy the path up a bit, but not now. And we'll have a nice footpath and a nice strip of lawn, where previously this was just down to the clay. So I'm very pleased with that. And also, I don't know about you, maybe this is weird, I don't think so, but I just love the sound of walking on a gravel path. So There we go.